Ladies and gentlemen, gather close. Today, I want you to imagine something. A moment where every hidden lie, every shadowed deceit, every carefully crafted scheme meant to destroy you is unraveled, exposed for all to witness. They reveled in their plots against you, didn't they? Whispering in corners, smirking behind your back, weaving their plans like puppeteers convinced of their own brilliance. But they overlooked one simple truth. Someone was watching. Someone greater, someone who sees it all. And now, one by one, they're being unmasked by the silent witness to every misdeed. God. Isn't it almost poetic? They spun a narrative where they were the heroes, the victims, the saints. They convinced themselves they'd never be caught, that their masks would shield them forever. They buried their lies in shadows, believing darkness would protect them. But now those shadows are shifting, and God's light is illuminating everything. Their games, their secrets, laid bare with nowhere to hide. Picture their shock, their horror, as they feel their grip on control slipping. Those they manipulated, those they deceived, are now seeing the truth. Every scheme they hatched against you is now circling back, revealing the hollowness within. They thought they could outrun justice, that their actions would never see the light. But karma is patient, and it never forgets. It waits for the perfect moment, and then, boom, the truth crashes down. They believed they were clever, that they could bend reality to their will. They smiled as they watched you suffer, relishing your pain, never imagining the tables could turn. But now, as each layer of deception is stripped away, they're left exposed. No amount of cunning or manipulation can save them. Their lies, their sins, glare back at them, undeniable. As their house of cards collapses, they're forced to confront the truth. The pleasure they took in hurting you was fleeting, shallow. They thought they were untouchable, invincible. But now they're realizing, far too late, that their actions echo louder than they ever imagined. God was there, in every whispered plot, every twisted word, every calculated plan. God saw it all, and now they must answer. It's a sight to behold. Their confidence, their bravado, crumbling as they realize no one believes them anymore. The world they built on lies is falling apart, and there's no escape. The truth doesn't bend, doesn't falter. It simply reveals, and it does so without mercy. They thought they were the authors of their story, but God had other plans. Now the truth flows like a river they can't contain. They thought they were in control, pulling the strings, confident their secrets would stay buried. They painted you as the villain, but now people are seeing through their charade. Those once enchanted by their lies are waking up to the reality behind the mask. A shallow, broken soul. Every revelation, every betrayal uncovered is another blow to their carefully constructed image. They're scrambling, desperate to regain control, to understand where it all went wrong. But deep down, they know. They played with fire, and now they're burning. Every underhanded move, every piece of gossip, every cruel game is coming back to haunt them. In their quiet moments, they're haunted by their own actions. They can try to shift the blame, to rationalize, but there's no escape. They see the pain they caused, the suffering they reveled in, reflected back at them. Isn't it ironic? They spent so much energy trying to break you, and now they're the ones crumbling. They thought they'd stand triumphant, but their victories are turning to dust as the truth shines brighter. Their plans are backfiring, the walls closing in, and all they can do is watch. You don't need to lift a finger. Life, karma, God, whatever you call it, has taken over. They're reaping what they sowed. and there's no way out. Let them scramble. Let them try to rebuild. It won't work. Their foundation was built on deceit, on the joy of your pain, and now it's rubble. They can't undo the truth, can't hide from their choices. The more they fight it, the more entangled they become in their own web. Now as they wander through the ruins of their making, they see how fragile their world truly was. Every word, every scheme, every moment they took pleasure in your suffering is now haunting them. They once found satisfaction in tearing you down, but now they're the ones in pieces, lost in a maze of their own lies. Every door they open leads to another reminder of what they tried to bury, and the truth is relentless, waiting at every turn. They can't understand why the world feels colder, why people no longer admire or trust them. Their charm, their allure, is wearing thin. People are seeing through them, seeing the reality behind the mask. They never expected this, thought they were too clever, too sly. But the truth has a way of surfacing, and now their own words and actions are dragging them down. Oh, they're panicking, trying to cover their tracks, but it's futile. Once the truth is out, once people see who they really are, there's no going back. They're beginning to understand what it feels like to be abandoned, to be on the outside looking in. And it's a bitter pill they never thought they'd swallow. They thought they'd escape untouched, that consequences wouldn't catch them. But reality demands what it's owed. They thought they were untouchable, invincible, but every lie, every manipulation is now a chain tightening around them. They used to laugh at karma, dismiss it as a myth. But now karma is here, relentless, and there's nowhere to run. They're learning that every action, every intention, leaves a mark. They never considered the cost of their games, thinking the pain they caused would fade. But the universe has its own justice, and it's merciless. They're facing every choice they made, and it's tearing them apart. Every door they opened to manipulate you is now slamming shut, trapping them in the darkness they tried to hide in. There's no one left to turn to. They burned every bridge, assuming they'd never need them. But those bridges were their connections, their security. Now they're isolated, alone with their misdeeds. The silence, once comforting, is now suffocating, a constant reminder of what they've lost. They might try to blame you, to paint you as the villain, but those who once believed them are seeing the cracks. Their words no longer hold weight. Their charm no longer hides the darkness. People are stepping away, leaving them to face the consequences alone. They never thought the world would turn on them, but now they're witnessing it firsthand. With nothing left to distract them, they're forced to confront the reality they created. They're haunted by the pain they caused, the suffering they dismissed. They're finally seeing what you endured, what they tried so hard to ignore. The tables have turned, and they're the ones feeling abandoned, discarded. It's a reality they never expected, and it's tearing them apart. Let them sit in the mess they made. Let them feel every ounce of pain, regret, and loneliness. They're learning the hard way that actions have consequences, that no one escapes the weight of their choices. As they stumble through the aftermath, they're left with one brutal truth. This is the life they created, the result of their own games, their own schemes. They have no one else to blame, no one else to turn to. It's just them and the emptiness, the broken pieces they now have to live with. And that, my friends, is the price of betrayal. Now, as they stand alone, staring into the abyss of everything they destroyed, a quiet realization dawns on them, a truth they can't escape. Every forced smile, every facade, every shallow victory was meaningless. They're left with nothing but the echoes of the lives they tried to control, the souls they tried to break, and the love they squandered in their pursuit of power. In this silence, where no applause follows, where no admiration remains, they finally understand that the only person left to face is themselves, and the reflection staring back. That's their legacy, one of deceit and betrayal, a life forever haunted by the very games they once took pleasure in playing. People are seeing through them now. Their charm, their excuses, their manipulations no longer work. Those who once stood by them are turning away, tired of the lies. And as they stand alone, with only their own actions for company, they're beginning to understand the gravity of what they've done. If you're looking for more content on self-growth, healing, and finding strength in difficult times, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I've got a lot more empowering content coming your way, and I'd love to have you join this amazing community. Take care, and remember, you're irreplaceable. See you in the next video.